You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Hi, everybody. Great to see you here at the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose, your heavenly host. No, wait, that came out wrong. No, we're in heaven on earth here. So anyway, great to see you, and I'm going to pass the word to Bernie.
Good morning. So happy to see you all. And there's some faces that haven't been here in a while, and it's really happy to see you all too.
Yeah.
So welcome. We're looking forward to a fun and joy-filled event. Yes. So enjoy yourselves.
Thank you so much. Okay, great. And then let's see. Oh, Mr. Bill is here to give us a youth and family message.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Bill Hadris with Youth and Family. I have some questions again for you. When someone does something that hurts you, how does it feel? Not exactly. Do you stay mad at them, or do you let it go? Let it go.
Let it go. All right.
You know, if you stay mad, are you willing to try letting it go and forgiving? That way...
It's a practitioner.
That way we don't have to feel so mad and so sad for so long. You know, forgiveness gives you the opportunity to choose how you feel, and it opens your heart. At home, I have a puppy.
Aww.
And at night, I'm all comfortable in my bed, asleep, the lights are out. Or maybe I was asleep, and then all of a sudden I hear this noise, crunch, 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 crunch. And all I can think of is, what does the puppy have? Is it something he's allowed to have, or is it not? Is it my favorite book or shoe? So you have to turn on the light, and then I can see what the puppy has. Forgiveness is the same way. You know, Bernard Shaw wrote, I think he was a Irish playwright and probably political activist for his time. He wrote, "Better to keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. When we are angry or sad or upset, our vision gets blurred. We can only see more sadness and more anger.
All right.
When we choose to forgive, our vision clears, and we can see the love and truth that is always present." You know, George Shaw also wrote, "Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything."
Wow.
I'm going to think of that. So I invite you all to repeat after me. With forgiveness, I see clearly.
With forgiveness, I see clearly.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. All righty. Mary, would you like to pray for us?
I would love to.
Okay.
Thank you. Will the reverends and practitioners please stand up to support this prayer? Everyone take a breath and find yourself right here, right now. God, the divine spirit, flows, is full of life and vitality and vim and vigor and vulnerability. And I'm connected to that God, divine spirit flow, essence, and everyone here and everyone in the universe is connected to that energy. And today's service is full of that life and vitality. It brings us enlightenment, it brings us understanding, wisdom, and especially joy. We find ways to uplift ourselves and others, and we see how we can use these ideas the rest of the week, the rest of our lives, to enrich us, to grow us, to comfort us. And I am grateful for everyone who is here supporting this service, supporting each other, supporting this community. With a grateful heart, I release my words into the law, knowing that they are already so. And together we say,
And
so it is.
And so we turn within and just breathe deeply into that spaciousness, into that beauty that was brought to us by Mary's wise words. We breathe in, we breathe out, we sense the essence of the inner being. Some of us call it God, others call it spirit, others call it love, higher power. Whatever it is who we are. And so we anchor in that resonance as we listen to the words of our sacred reading.
Eccentric God by Chelan Harkin. If you think the eccentric God who made the octopus is going to judge you for your sins, I'm afraid you've missed the mark. If you think this wild God that spins galaxies as a pastime cares to get fussy about your mistakes, or has ever made anything that wasn't born perfect and luminous, you might need to repent. If you can't admit how lovable and infinitely worthy the fullness of your human nature is, and if you think God wants to do anything but perpetually pour an abundance of love gifts upon you, well, my dear, your soul might just need to go to confession. And finally, a quote from Baha'i: "The sea of joy yearns to attain your presence." Amen.
Thank you. And so let us swim together in that sea of joy, opening our hearts to be the joy that we wish to see in the world, recognizing that we are luminous, perfectly made, divinely inspired by God so that we may divinely inspire others. In just a moment, we'll sing a chant, I am remembering who I am. I am is yet another name for the name of the divine. And so as we sing, I am remembering who I am, we recognize also that we sing it for ourselves, but there really is only one I am presence that lives and moves and has its perfect being in everyone and everything. So we sing this song for our own remembrance. We sing it to remember for the people in this room, to lift each other up, and we sing it for the entire cosmos. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. From the divine love that abides within me, let us breathe in deeply. And then exhale and gently open our eyes as love and in service to what is as it is. And so it is. Namaste.
It's not that unusual when everything is beautiful. It's just another ordinary miracle today. The sky knows when it's time to snow. Don't need to teach a seed to grow. Just another ordinary miracle today. Life is like a gift, they say, wrapped up for you every day. Open up and find a way to give some of your own. Isn't it remarkable? Every time a raindrop falls, just another ordinary miracle today. Birds in winter have their fling, but always make it home by spring. Just another ordinary miracle today. When you wake up every day, please don't throw your dreams away. Hold them close to your heart, 'cause we are all apart. It seems so exceptional. Things just work out after all. It's just another ordinary miracle today. The sun comes up and shines so bright. It disappears again at night. That's just another ordinary miracle today. Ooh, ooh, just another ordinary miracle today.
Well, beautiful. Oh, where's my clicker? Thank you. Boy, it's that kind of a day, isn't it? Is it just me? Yes. Okay, good to know. Good to know, okay. Well, fittingly, I must say, today's topic is existential joy. And I think we've already seen some of that here in this morning's service already. Lots of joy going on in here. I can feel the energy. So, I'm going to start by telling you a story. And this is a story, some of you who have been in my Jesus Meets Gandhi class have heard this, so forgive me for repeating it. I just love it too much. I had to tell everybody about it. This is a story about my little great nephew. Isn't he cute? Is he the cutest baby you've ever seen? Please just say it. His name is Julian, and I happened to be there the first time that he turned over from his stomach to his back. Now, one of our classmates had said that that's when she can really feel like she is in the realm of the divine, when she sees a child do something new for the first time, and they just light up. And that's how it was with Julian. He was lying on his stomach doing tummy time, which I hear is important for babies, right? Am I right, people? Okay, I don't have children, so I don't exactly know all these things. He was doing his tummy time, and a bunch of us grown-ups were sitting around in a circle talking, and then all of a sudden he takes on this look like some kind of a beached sea animal where he's like trying to flip over, and of course all the adults in the room are watching him like he's, what's her name, Simone Biles, the Olympic gymnast, like, you can do it. And then he flipped over on his back, and his face just went, oh, what was that? There's a ceiling. That, of course, became his Everest then from now on, his white whale, where every time his mother would flip him back on his tummy for more tummy time, he wanted to try that flipping on your back thing again because it was so cool. But I just remember the look on his face and how excited he was that this realm of goodness existed that he had never seen before. It's as if he said, as if he was quoting Ralph Waldo Emerson saying, all that I have seen teaches me to trust the Creator for all I have not seen. And can you imagine that for yourselves, for ourselves? That we've seen so much good on this earth, so much beauty. All you need to do is go out the front steps and look back at the building. All you need to do is look at the nature around us, see the ocean, and then also look around. Take a moment, look around, see all the beauty around you. Look at all these beautiful people. Right? So many beautiful people, so many beautiful things. And can we allow this to teach us of all of the glories that we have not seen, that we haven't seen yet, but that we will see? Again, quoting from the reading from the Baha'i faith, Baha'u'llah, the sea of joy yearns to attain your presence. The sea of joy is yearning for each of us. The question is, will we swim in it? So today's talk is about existential joy, as I mentioned, but I've noticed in our world, I'm not there yet, sorry. So the reason that we're talking about joy today is that in the past, 4 or 5 weeks or so since I've been back from India, we've been talking about Gandhi's 3 favorite words, which are renounce and enjoy. Okay? A reporter asked him, how do you live your life? And he said, renounce and enjoy. Okay, we've been talking a lot about renunciation. And some of us have renounced some great things. In this center, we say that renunciation means anything that stands in the way of your vision to be able to see how wonderful and how beautiful you are and how beautiful and wonderful life is, and anything that blocks the resources of the divine that long to pour through us in mystical and magical and earth-shattering, earth-opening, eye-opening ways, right? That's what renunciation is. Maybe not what you learned as a youngster, but that's what we call renunciation. And means that you need to renounce and enjoy. You need both of them. And enjoyment is just the grace that comes from letting go. But it's also more. So today I want to focus on joy a bit. I've noticed that in our culture, we tend to focus a little bit more on not joy, right? On angst, on anger, on outrage, on disdain, on pain, all of those things. Because, that thing about headlines, if it bleeds, it leads, right? That's where our focus is shaped by what we tend to pay attention to. So it had been a long time since I'd studied existentialism. I read a whole thick book on it when I was working in psychiatry years and years ago. Rather than dig out the book, I decided to just look up to Google existential angst. Existential angst. The best site I happened upon was called Existential Angst with pictures. Now, I didn't put any of the pictures up because they were pretty depressing. They didn't really fit the tone of the talk today. But anyway, existential angst with pictures. I'll show you a picture in a minute, okay? But anyway, existential angst is generally defined as a negative feeling arising from the experiences of human freedom and responsibility. The belief that life has no meaning other than what we give it. Now, why are people going, oh, why? I have a guess, in case anybody's shy about why they were going, I think because this, to some of us who have been around this teaching for a while, who have been in metaphysical teachings, it doesn't sound like such a bad thing, right? Human freedom can be a good thing, and responsibility can be a good thing. And the belief that life has no meaning until we give it meaning, that can actually be a really good thing, unless we get caught in existential angst. Because it can generate anxiety. These things can generate anxiety, but I think part of what we're doing here is to say, wait, freedom, responsibility, making meaning, all of those are good things. All of those things can be used to support the life of the divine. I did promise a picture, so I found this one about existential angst. The dog is pondering, what if I never find out who's a good boy? You ever said that to your dog? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? What I say to our dog Barty, because he's getting a little, how do I say this politely? He's old. And his brain is not quite what it used to be, so he barks at everything. And when he's in a barking rampage, I go, who's a horrible animal? Who's a horrible animal? But yeah, that question, who's a good boy? What if I never find out who's a good boy? Now back to that quote from the internet with pictures, okay? Existential angst is generally held to be a negative feeling arising from the experience of human freedom and responsibility, the belief that life has no meaning other than what we give it. And again, to review what we say in the Science of Mind, right? We would say, we treasure freedom and responsibility. It is a gift to have freedom, to have free will, to have responsibility for the quality of our thinking, right? You know, I remember somebody telling me, I think it was our sister Mary who was on pulpit today, that the word freedom comes up as much as faith in the Science of Mind textbook, right? Freedom is hugely important in our teaching, and we treasure it. Another thing that we treasure is an understanding of meaning making, that we can look at something and make a meaning of it, but the meaning is coming through our particular lens, right? I remember a story from Terry Cole Whitaker where she talked about how she was driving around with one of her friends, and she's like, wow, today is really dismal. Today is really a dark day. I wish it would clear up. And the friend said, Terry, take off your sunglasses. And voila, all of a sudden, it was clear. And then the other thing that we treasure is that we treasure the awareness of the impact of our thoughts. That the impact of our thoughts impacts the quality of our lives, right? And so these are all, I think we treasure all of these things because we know that we can use our freedom, we can use our responsibility, we can use our understanding of meaning making, we can use the understanding of the impact of our thoughts to uplift ourselves. It doesn't mean that we have to get stressed about any of those things. We can use these things to move into greater joy, into much greater joy. Science of Mind sparks existential joy. Anybody know who I'm quoting there? Sparks joy? Marie Kondo. Who said that? Amy, of course. Marie Kondo. She's everybody know who Marie Kondo is, right? Yeah, she cleans stuff and tells you to throw out your things. By the way, Jennifer is running a 40-day release of things that you don't need for Lent. That came out wrong. Anyway, release 40 things in 40 days. Okay, so anyway, Science of Mind sparks existential joy. Our teaching sparks existential joy. The joy of freedom, the joy of creativity, right? Because we have free will, we have great creativity. And also the joy of consequences, because consequences will teach us something. If you touch a hot stove, you know not to touch it again, right? Same thing with interacting with different circumstances in life. If you approach it this way and it doesn't go well, then you think, wow, maybe I could approach it a different way next time. So consequences are a beautiful thing. Also the joy of contrast. Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, they use that word contrast a lot. When we understand what we don't want, it can inspire us to clarify what we're truly longing for, what our soul is longing for. So contrast is a beautiful thing too, right? And then every contrast can inspire homecoming. And you may ask, homecoming to what? Homecoming to what? Well, I would say our true nature, which is unconditional joy. Can you believe that our true nature is unconditional joy? Well, it's rhetorical, you don't have to weigh in on that right now, but that our true nature is unconditional joy. It certainly doesn't seem like it sometimes. I was in a really bad mood when I sat down to write this talk, but more about that later, okay? Our true nature is unconditional joy. Our true nature. I turned to my brother Rupert Spira for that. He's in the choir loft, but there's this picture up there. Existential joy is the same as unconditional joy. Unconditional joy, meaning that it's not, our joy, our true nature is not dependent on conditions being any particular way, right? Happiness, he says, is the underlying state of all states. That joy is not a feeling, it is the background of all feelings. I'll explain that a little bit more in just a minute, okay? To go on with quoting Brother Rupert, the discovery that peace, happiness, and love are ever present within our own being and completely available at every moment of experience under all conditions is the most important discovery that anyone can make. That joy, like God, like love, is an ever-present reality. But what if joy feels absent? What if joy feels absent? Does unconditional joy ever abandon us? Or do we abandon unconditional joy? Back years ago, I had this refrigerator magnet. I'm going to tell you the teaching of the refrigerator magnet. I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately, but there was a picture of this little guy with his suitcases, and he said, "I feel far away from God. I wonder which one of us moved away." I think sometimes we're packing our suitcases filled with regret, with shame, with guilt, with all of these things and more, with rage and outrage. With whatever it is we're packing our suitcases with, and we're stepping away from unconditional joy when really it's there waiting for us to swim in it, to accept it, to be it, to live it, and to share it. Rupert Spira said to consider the sky. We know, right, because we're grown-ups mostly, that the sky is like this beautiful blue canvas and that there are clouds on it. And he said to think of the clouds as things that sometimes block the sky, but they don't diminish the sky. They don't hurt the sky. And he said, if you're from a different planet, or if you're maybe a little one, like my little nephew Julian, that maybe you'll look at that picture and you'll say, oh, there's a white cloud, there's a blue cloud, there's a white cloud, there's a blue cloud. But it's not that way. The sky is there. The sky is this ever-present reality, and we'll call the sky like joy, right? And then, yes, sometimes things get in the way of the experience of joy. Sometimes little clouds of doubt or fear or resistance get in the way of our experience of joy, but the joy is still always there. And it's a matter of parting the clouds. And part of parting the clouds is recognizing that underneath the clouds of doubt, fear, resistance, guilt, shame, whatever, that the joy is still present. The joy is still there. It is always there. It is who we are. It is who we are. We learn to see joy as the backdrop of all experience. The sea of joy yearns to attain your presence. You're already in it. The sea of joy really wants you to know that we're in it. So what's the practice? Because like I said, I was in a really bad mood when I wrote this talk. When I started, by the time I was done, I was not in a bad mood anymore. So the moral of that story is that part of the practice is shifting our thinking to dwell upon things that are uplifting versus the tendency to dwell on things that are not uplifting. One of the other things that Abraham Hicks says is that we focus on presence instead of absence. We actually tend to focus on absence. I've listened to a lot of her recordings on YouTube, and the person comes in and they say, I want this thing, I want my perfect partner, I want my perfect job, and I don't have it yet. And she says often, it's probably because you're focusing on the absence of it versus the presence of it. And for us, if we reduce, let's say we're searching for a perfect partner, if we reduce that to a spiritual quality such as love, right? And we may still want to focus on the absence of love in our lives, but if we just shift a little bit, we can focus on the presence of love in our lives, no matter what it looks like. So the flowers love us. Look at what the flowers are giving us this morning. And our friends love us, and our dogs love us. And ultimately, we start becoming so open to love that we become love itself. And that is a very extremely attractive practice or state of being that draws in whatever it is that we need, that draws in as it shifts our consciousness, right? So with joy, if we can focus on the presence of joy versus the absence of joy, that's something that can help shift our consciousness a bit. Like I said, when I started writing this talk, I wasn't feeling that great about it, but then as I started reading Rupert Spira's words and started reading other things about it, that shifted my consciousness a little bit, so I was able to focus on the presence instead of the absence of joy. One of the ways that Esther says to focus on the presence is to just, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we really are stuck on something and it's really hard. To use the phrase, wouldn't it be great if I went to Starbucks today and everybody was super nice to me? Wouldn't it be great if someday I really, really met somebody that was just perfect for me and we had this great friendship? Wouldn't it be great if everybody was just so open to hearing what I had to say? Wouldn't it be great if I was abundant? Wouldn't it be great if I won the lottery? Wouldn't it be great if I had the perfect job? I'm not speaking about myself, by the way. I have the perfect job, lest you be concerned. But none of those things are really about me. They're about all of us. Wouldn't it be great if? Right now in your head, can you compose a wouldn't it be great if? Wouldn't it be great if? We don't have to go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. We can start with just incremental steps of wouldn't it be great if I just had a little more faith? If I had a little more faith, if I had that Emerson thing happening where he talks about how the joy that we've seen acts as proof that the divine has created everything in great beauty. Wouldn't it be great if I just had a little more faith? Another thing we can do. This is a good one. This is actually how I really overcame my resistance to writing and my cranky mood yesterday, is to turn anxiety into positive action. Turn anxiety into positive action. If we're distressed about something, it's often because we're sitting around, we're predicting dire consequences. And we can't, we're looking at the ending and not knowing how we're going to get there. So just take a tiny step in the right direction, a positive step in the right direction. Turn anxiety, helps to be able to recognize anxiety, and then turn it into positive action. Move boldly, one step at a time, in the direction of our dreams, right? And the other thing is that I know that there is great sorrow in the world. There is great sorrow in our personal lives at times. And this is not about pretending that sorrow doesn't exist. But what I would like to suggest to all of us, just to hold this gently, and be sorrowful if you need to, right? Be sorrowful if you need to, but just in the back of our minds, hold this idea that joy is so great that it includes sorrow. A joy so great that it includes sorrow. And my experience with that is that sorrow, my own personal sorrow, or holding the sadness of others, that it often leads to greater compassion. And compassion is a beautiful and magnificent source of joy for all parties involved. We may not be able to explain joy at its highest and most beautiful level, but we can still practice. And compassion is one way to practice, remembering that there is a joy that is so great that it is inclusive of sorrow. I like to have an occasional voice from VCSL come up and speak. Yeah. And as you're coming up, I'm going to explain why you're speaking, okay? One of the things, so I just gave you like 4 practices or so, things that you can do. But one of my very favorite quotes from the Bible is when Jesus says, "These things ye shall do and more." Now, I've told you before that Terry Cole Whitaker took that very literally, and she thought she was going to raise the dead, so she would practice on dead birds, okay? I don't know if anyone ever flew off while she was raising the dead, but I don't take it quite so literally. The way that I take that is that these things ye shall do and more is that each of us have this unique set of circumstances in our lives. We have unique qualities. We are these unique individuations of God, and we each can practice joy, practice being part of the sea of joy, in wonderful ways that are specific to us. So there are an infinite number of ways to kneel and kiss the ground, and there are an infinite number of ways to practice joy, to become part of the sea of joy. And it doesn't have to be as serious. Have you ever seen that? I'm going to practice joy, so I'm going to meditate. Dang it, I'm a terrible meditator. It doesn't have to be like that. We can practice joy, find joy in our own unique way. So Bernie's going to tell us how she does it. Go for it, Bernie.
Going for it.
Yeah.
So, joy. There was a period of time when I was not able to reach it as fully as I wanted to. I can almost always find it when I see the sparkle of sunshine on the water, possibly seeing a lovely face that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm so happy to see. And so I started looking at, how can I nurture more joy? So I started recognizing that there's music that I've been listening to, and some of the songs, I like that line, I like this thing. So then I started thinking, what if I played that all the time? Anytime I put my earbuds in or went for a walk or anytime.
Okay, good
we'll
to know.
just say it that way. Anytime. So you'll see me with, earbud in, and it's not that I'm not listening to you, but I'm holding the joy in my in my presence. Now, if I want to change a behavior of my own, I change it by putting it into the five senses and making sure that I'm using all five senses. So here's my playlist. The first one I put together was like a half an hour. And on that list, I had songs that talked about the way my skin feels when the sun shines on it. There's a song that says, keep people close to you that feel like sunshine. I thought, good song. The next one was, what does it taste like? Well, I couldn't figure out quite a taste, but I could remember, here's a commercial,
Okay.
Gourmet for Gods.
Oh, yes.
When, God, I think it's Gourmet for God.
Yeah.
Or Gods.
We bless all paths.
Yeah,
know.
there you go.
Yeah.
So with Gourmet for God, which we're going to be practicing soon, is all of these times that I got together with people and had maybe shared a beer at a restaurant on St. Patrick's Day. Do I still remember that experience with Cliff? I absolutely do. And so that became the taste, that joy of a meal. The idea of sight. How do I view it? Well, the sparkle in the water. That brings joy. Is there a song that creates that feeling? Absolutely. Hearing, of course, would be the music. And what does the music provide? Is there a sensation? To do Dick Clark, does it make me, is it a quick beat, good beat, and easy to dance to? By golly, yes. Each of the songs that are on my list are songs that I can move to and that will create either a powerful walk or a gentle movement that just feels like I'm in the flow of life. So everything that's on my playlist has come from five senses. I don't know if I got all five senses.
I think you did.
Okay, good.
Movement is sort
Yeah.
of,
Yeah,
touch. Yeah.
We'll say I did.
Yeah.
So it's all about a focused intention when I'm choosing a song or listening to the song. It's all about making sure that I have a sense of connection to it. And so as I'm out there in the world, I've created this whole playlist that makes me just feel uplifted, to feel alive, and to feel a sense of, ready?
Yes.
Joy.
Joy. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Bernie. And one of the reasons I especially picked on selected Bernie to come up and speak was that I've just noticed in being with Bernie in class lately that there's this even greater wisdom flowing from her. So joy has these repercussions that makes us more loving, more wise, probably makes better choices, all of these things. So that's one of the reasons I asked Bernie. And just, hold on to your hats because you could be next, anybody out there, okay? One more story about joy, okay? One more thought about it. If you're looking for a place to experience joy, I think you've come to it. Have you noticed this is a joyful center? This is a very joyful center. Something happened last week that made me laugh all week long. And it had to do with members of the community. I just thought of it and chuckled every day last week. It was last Sunday. It was right around, remember the rain? It was after, I don't know if it was raining last Sunday, but it was after a lot of rain. And I had, because it was raining outside and my rabbit got wet, I had moved her inside. There's my bunny. It's not a very flattering picture of her. But she's a big girl, right? So I put her in a room where she couldn't chew up anything, and let's just say it was the smallest room in my house, right? And so I had to sit down in that room before I came to church, and she was lying right where I needed my feet to be, and I could not get her to move. I was shoving her with my feet, trying to move her over, and she just sat there like this, like, I'm not moving, I like it here. So I said I had to kind of back in. And one of the people, I was talking to 3 people, and one of them said, you should have put one of those beeps on your butt, like those wide load trucks that are backing up. And so then, of course, I had to go into an imitation of me backing up like this, and the people around me going, beep, beep, beep. So, you see what I mean? I mean, joy is omnipresent. You can't make up this stuff, people. It's everywhere, and it's also right here. So, I'm going to suggest today that after we finish the service, after we're done, after we go in there and do our hospitality, tell somebody something joyful. If you can't think of anything to say, just say, the best thing that happened to me today, or the best thing that happened to me yesterday, or the best thing that happened to me this week is that. And I guarantee you, the person who is hearing about the best thing that happened to you will either share something of their own, or they will smile and just take in that joy with you. Joy is omnipresent. It is omnipresent, it is everywhere, and the sea of joy yearns to attain your presence. So let's dive in, folks, and let's dive in by doing an affirmation together. And here we go. Today I swim in the sea of joy. Waves of joy ripple inwardly. Waves of joy ripple outwardly. I stand in awe of the power of joy. Namaste, and so it is. Thank you, everybody. Thanks. Okay. All right, let us pray. And so we turn within and just trust that beautiful, beautiful divine love of God that shows up in so many ways, in joy, and peace, and happiness, that is an omnipresent reality, that is like the blue sky that is sometimes covered by clouds, but the blue sky remains. The sky remains. And so we just surrender to that and allow it to fill us and allow it to be who we are, because it already is who we are. I connect with that omnipresence right now, right here. I connect with grace. I connect with joy, with love, with peace, with harmony, with happiness. And just for now, if I'm experiencing an absence in my life, I just let that go, knowing I can pick it up later if I want. But just let it go and focus on the presence. Focus on the presence of the divine that loves us so deeply, that expresses love through us so beautifully, and that is pure joy itself. And so I know for each of us here today that we are moved by joy, that we are surprised by joy, that joy moves into our lives in magnificent and marvelous and wonderful ways. That we have a joy that is so big that, yes, it can encompass sorrow. It comes up as compassion, compassionate joy. And that our joy is unconditional. That our joy is not dependent upon circumstances, but below all situations in the world, there is this abiding joy, this abiding presence of joy that transcends all difficulties. And so I'm grateful, so grateful for this realization, grateful for knowing that it takes place in people's lives in miraculous and wonderful ways that are unique to them, unique to their own life circumstances. For these things we shall do and more. I'm grateful for these words, grateful for the divine, grateful for this divine beloved community. I give thanks for everyone that has shown up today to participate in creating this center of joy that can ripple both outwardly and inwardly in a Mobius strip of joy that blesses the entire cosmos. And I'm grateful for this teaching, so grateful for this teaching. In that spirit of gratitude, I bless all paths to God, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, gurdwaras, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics. I bless everyone, for everyone has a part to play in this mystery that we call life. And with a heart that is so filled with blessedness, I say, thank you, Spirit, thank you, love, and I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste. Here she is. Hi.
Boy, here I am again.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo.
that's right. Yay.
All right, this is a time of giving, and what a wonderful time to give for joy.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you would repeat with me, place your check or money or hands over your heart and say with me, we trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
Our gift blesses many.
Our gift blesses many
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and returns to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Vern.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, I won't shed a tear as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me, Lord. Stand by me.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, just a few announcements here. Let's see. Oh, all right. If you miss anything that I say, I'm going to go pretty quickly. We have a website, www.venturacsl.org, and we also have a desk. If you go through that door, there's a desk with all kinds of information on it. But first, before that, let's do the flower dedication. Let's see who they are for. Oh, look, they left it open. Yay. To Chris Kimbler. Thank you for your wonderful musical contributions to our church. We are so grateful for you. Love from your fans at VCSL. Yeah. I'm having second thoughts about that picture, though. That's I don't know what we were up to. Yeah, you look good. I don't know. Where's I Love Lucy? Yeah, there she is, right there. Okay. Okay. So we've got two ambassadors here today, two lovely people that you were longing to meet, Jim and Lacey. They can let you know any questions you might have about the church, or if you're new, or if you're not new, feel free. And then, Jennifer, why don't you start coming up here as I start announcing Ray's class. So there's this class coming up called the Evolution Revolution, and that's a class about Kabbalah. It's facilitated by Ray Davis. Any of you heard Ray Davis play? It's magnificent, yeah. And he's also quite wise about the Kabbalah. So that's on March 12th, and it's after service. And I think there'll be music involved in it as well. It will show you the importance and urgency of personal spiritual evolution and how it can spark an up-leveling of global human consciousness and creating a world that truly works for everyone. So I encourage you to sign up for that. I think you can sign up, you definitely can sign up online, and if you have trouble with online, let us know and we'll get you signed up. Okay? Jennifer, what do you want to say?
I am up here to talk about Gourmets for God.
It's back.
It's back.
It's back. Yay.
So it's been 4 years since we've done a Gourmets for God. So if you can't remember what it is, I'm going to refresh everybody's memory. So it's a fundraiser. Gourmets for God is one of our main, well, it's one of our fundraisers that we do here. And what it is that we have people host parties. So there's a multitude of parties. So many parties to go to all summer. And so people will host a party. They donate that party to the center. And then we do a bidding, not a bidding war, but there's some bidding and some fun that happens in that for a month. And then when you win a spot at the party, you get to go to the party, have the party, and then the money that you pay to go comes here. That's where the fundraising comes in. So it's all summer. Our parties will go from May into October. And I wanted to just do a quick, who here has gone to a Gourmets for God party in the past? Raise your hand.
Oh, a lot of us. Great.
Yeah. And who has hosted a Gourmets for God party? Raise your hand. Now, if you haven't raised your hand, look at all those people that did. They survived hosting a party. So if you have not hosted one before, look, they're still here. They live to tell the tale. So if you don't want to come talk to me about what it means to host a party, talk to somebody there, like the ambassadors. They'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
If you are brave enough to come sign up or to come find out about it, I will be in the social hall. I have a table set up. I have sign-up sheets. If you just want more information, please come talk to me, and we'll get everything figured out. So
Thank you,
I'm super
Reverend.
excited.
Appreciate it. Reverend Jennifer, Assistant Minister. There you go. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, let's see. There's a membership class on March 26th, and that's on at 11:30 after the service. And there's a table out there set up for membership. So if you're not a member and you'd like to join, come and find out what that means. And just stop at the table and see what you think about it, okay? And then on Wednesday 29th, we're doing a prayer, a chanting, and meditation service to benefit the survivors of the earthquake in Syria. And so more details about that will be coming soon. It's me and the practitioners and a few interfaith participants as well. Let's see, outreach. We've got volunteer opportunities that are coming, that are on our website. You can serve food. There's also information for that in Stanley's Hall. Oh, look, we're having an underwear and socks collection. Wow. Mercy House. New underwear and socks collection for the month of March. And Gail is facilitating that, and she'll keep us posted as to how that's actually going to happen. There must be a bin out there or something. So go ahead and purchase some new underwear and socks and bring it on in, okay? And then there's all kinds of information at the desk there. The choir is rehearsing today downstairs at 11:30. It's a fantastic choir, super fun, great people, really fun to sing with them. And then we also have food and coffee back there, some giveaways, some encouragement, all kinds of great after-service options. Last but not least, we have practitioners standing by who are delighted to pray with you. They'll come down front. You'll see them. They're wearing white stoles. And if you would like a prayer for anything you can imagine, our practitioners would be happy to pray with you, and they are fantastic. Okay? So that's all I've got for now. So why don't we do one more prayer, and then we'll go on our separate ways. All right. So... let us turn within. Let us turn within and just trust and know that divine being that is love that has brought us here today. And once again, I'm so grateful for everyone that has shown up today to lend their consciousness to the spiritual soup. Oh, and to lend their consciousness to the spiritual soup that takes place after service, the joy, sharing what is joyful for us, sharing something wonderful that happened for us. And just sharing in general, just understanding and opening our hearts to be part of this beautiful, beautiful community. So I'm so grateful for that, so grateful for the transformation, so grateful for what we are co-creating here, knowing that it blesses our lives individually, but also blesses the world. And with a heart knowing that we truly are a center of love that aspires to be love, share love, and serve love. I give thanks, I give abundant thanks, and I release these words into the divine mystery, and together we say, and so it is.